Good morning, happy Tuesday. I know it's ScanNCut day today, isn't it? We've got 8, 12 and 6. And for once, I have a plan. I know, check me out. So, welcome to live shopping here at Highlight Crafts. I'm going to say good morning to a few of you before we get stuck into it. Morning, Amanda. Lorraine Bradbury says it's wet, warm and grey here in Cheshire. I know it needs to thunder today, doesn't it? Doreen says, morning Doreen. Carol says, good morning everyone, very muggy here, thunderstorm weather. I know, we definitely need that. Lorraine, we've got Karen, Barbara, Lou, Amanda, Veronica, good morning. Doreen, good morning. Sue S, Maureen C, Avril, there's loads of you joining this morning. Sarah Jane, thank you ever so much. If I've missed anybody, I apologise. Do you know what, Amanda? You're right. Weather like this gives me a headache. It does with me. You get a pressure headache, don't you? Right there, right behind your eyes. I know. Hopefully that will go away soon for you. Right, let me introduce you to our team this morning. We've got Ethan on cameras. There we are. Because it really don't really like doing that, but I think it's fabulous. Sam's producing. She's back.
Morning.
She was a bit poorly yesterday. Thank God she's back. The whole place went into panic. We're like, Sam's not in. What do you mean Sam's not in? It was like, okay. Whew. Anyway, she's back, which is great. Morning, Linda. Morning, Mrs. H999. Right, shall we get stuck in? So let me talk to you a little bit about Highlight Crafts. We're only small. There's about 29 of us. It's a family-run business with Stephanie and her lovely husband, Carl. And we come into the studios. We did TV for decades, okay? And then that went. And literally, overnight, changed the business. And Stephanie had found this live shopping company that was set up in lockdown. And we've taken it on board. We had 2 little studios already ready to go because we were filming education and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So we came in and we switched the whole business around and began doing live shopping. And live shopping is brilliant because the thing that's annoyed me, it's niggled me for 20 years of doing TV, is we were sending our customers or friends and family at home away from watching us to go to a website to find the product, to put it in your basket to check it out. Live shopping eliminates all that hassle. So you can watch us on YouTube, so you can put us on your big TV if that's what you want to do. You can also watch us on Facebook, Instagram, and our website, which is highlightcrafts.com. So if you're going to shop on either Facebook or Instagram with us, we're going to show you a product, and that product will have a code. And all you need to do to purchase that is type shop and then the code next to it in the comments underneath the video. So where you're all commenting now and saying good morning to everybody, that's where you're going to type it. That will then pop that product into a basket for you, okay? We're going to slide into your DMs. Apparently that's a kid's thing to say. I mean DMs, Carol Lewis, you'll get this. DMs, when I was a kid, Doc Martens, right? Apparently it's direct message. I know. I've heard it a lot, but I've never known what it meant. So we're going to send you a message, basically. And in that message, there will be a link. You're going to click that link, and that link is going to take you to highlightcrafts.com. Now, if you haven't got an account with us, please open one before you shop. It's free to do so. Make sure that you put your birth date in as well, because we send you a little gift on your birthday. But it automatically makes you a member of Club Highlight. And Club Highlight is our club where our members get extra discount, even on heavily discounted products or high-priced items. So you still get your discount. You get loyalty points for every £1 that you spend, which is brilliant because those build up. And I've seen a few of you have been using them recently to buy product, which is fabulous, isn't it? So you get that extra bonus. And instead of on a basket spend over £50 being free postage, it's over £35. So the benefits of joining the club for free far outweigh not doing it. Okay, so you'll get your discount included. Now you could also shop directly on our website, so highlightcrafts.com. So go to the website, click on watch live, click play, and as soon as that show starts, you'll see all the items in that show appear down the right hand side of your screen. Then you just select the ones that you wish to purchase, and they will go into a little red shopping bag that will appear at the top of your screen. Okay, when you're ready to log in and check out, click on that bag and that will take you through that process, which is fabulous. Make sure that you're logging in first though. Please make sure you're logging in because I don't want you to miss out on all those benefits. Now you can also shop ahead. So if you're going out for the day or you're busy but you don't want to miss any of the deals, if you go to highlightcrafts.com on the homepage, there's a button that says Shop Today's Deals. Click on that. That will open up all the products in all of the shows so that you can fill your basket and get the best out of that and get your free shipping, right? So that's how it works here. Good morning to Pat, Linda, Morwen, Hilda. I know Hilda, she's just put, is that what it means? Apparently so. I know, I'm not down with the kids at all. Who was it was talking about? Oh, Jamie Rogers was talking about, what was he talking about the other day? Oh, Kardashians. And I was like, I could walk through a crowd of them and I won't know who they are. It's like, seriously? I'm like, yeah, I'm not good at that sort of stuff. Morning all, says Heather. Good morning to you all. Karen says, my excuse to sit down and watch in case hubby wakes up. I'm hemming some trousers by hand because it takes longer. Well, you can watch us while you do it, can't you? Right, so I have a plan for today. So we're going to go down the counter. We've got a brand new stencil download. I don't like it when we call them stencils because they are SVG files, so you can do all those amazing things with them. So we're going to focus on the machine and cutting and all the different materials that it will cut with that auto blade because we've got a cracking deal on the TL machine. We've held it from the weekend, so we've held that price. In fact, we've got 2 or 3 different options for you. We're all then at lunchtime, we're going to do scanning. And even if you think you know it all, tune in because I might be showing you something a little bit different. And then tonight we're going to go into Canvas Workspace and have a look at all these files and what we can do with them. So that's my plan for today. So we're going to start right at the beginning and work our way through, which is cool, right? Right, so first of all, we have got our latest Spectacular Stencils Volume 4. This is Shop Spectacular. It's $24.99. Now, when we say stencils, these are cutting files, drawing files, piercing files, foiling files, embossing files, all those things that we can do with our ScanNCut. In fact, no, if I go and have a look at it now, I'm not going to find it, am I? So I'm just going to carry on this little brain. I need to stay focused. I've got to try and wear blinkers today and stay focused. Right, so you're going to get 37 SVG files. So first of all, we're going to get this really beautiful pattern. Now, I'm going to I made a gatefold out of this yesterday, so we're going to have a look at that at some point as well. But this is a card that our lovely Lou Pattern has made with that. How beautiful is that? Isn't that lovely? I think it's absolutely stunningly beautiful. So she's taken little elements, used them independently and created something completely new, which I think is just fantastic. So great job there, Lou. Thank you. So we've also got the open space, because if you do want to stencil them, you can colour this first and then you can put that one stencil over the top and colour on top of that. But also look at the shape. You've got a brand new set of nesting shapes there. So that shape now you can cut in a minimum of 250 different sizes. How fabulous is that? And you can make your card shapes out of it, your easel cards out of it, apertures out of it, frames out of it. I know, and that's just one. Then we've got these beautiful corner flourishes. Now, of course, you can break these down as well. So you could just stop it there and there if you wanted to. You could just use that part if that's what you want to do. You could just break that flourish down and just use that part. So it's really, really, it's not about the 37 files, it's about all the other stuff that you can do with it, right? Then we've got lots of different flourishes. I love these corners cut into a card. So that, not using it as a stencil, just using it as a decorative element. This is beautiful, isn't it? But you could just have that flower head as a border or an all over background. These little flowers here are lovely. So you could create a whole background full of those. Then you've got the sunflower. Now I just want to bring this in. Look what our Lou's done with this one. How lovely is that? Breaking it down, creating inward offset lines. So you've got all those different layers. She's used an embossed sentiment there, but the ScanNCut will draw it for you. So you've got all of these different options that you can use when you've got files like this. So, excuse me, more flourishes. This is all about your decorative elements, this one, and I love it because sometimes when you're doing a mixed media piece, you need something. A mixed media is all about rice papers and about not rice papers necessarily, but designs that have layer on layer on layer on layer on layer on layer of different design layers. So doing something like stenciling, whether it's with paste, an airbrush, inks, whatever you paint through a stencil with a stipple brush, whatever you choose, you can add all this on. So we've given you lots of decorative elements for this as well. Then we go on to our next page where you've got these lovely florals. That embossed would be stunning, but again, you could make it smaller and do it as a border if you wanted to, because you can flip shapes as well, remember. You've got all your individual florals. You've got a lovely aperture there of a flower that you could use. Now that you could use as a flower, so just cut it out your pattern papers, do it in different sizes, curl it, ink it, build it up. So don't just look at the pictures and go, Look at the pictures and see through them and see what else you could do with them. These lovely backgrounds, and I love it when we do these because we give you the clean version, so the crisp cut version, and then we give you more of a shabby version. Then our last page, you've got more of these. Now this is a lovely one. Imagine just that there across as a border through the middle of your card. Beautiful sentiment on it, bit of detail in the background, job done. So if you want this, it is Shop Spectacular, and today it is £24.99. So way less than £1 a file, which is brilliant, isn't it? Right, I'm going to whiz through these that we've already brought you before, and then we're going to go down the counter and get stuck in. So this was one that we launched a couple of weeks ago, I think. This is Spectacular Stencils Volume 3. And this is very much about that mechanical age, that steampunk era, but these are fabulous. And again, you could just take a small amount of them. You don't have to use the whole thing, and they certainly don't have to just be stencils. We've then got these on here where you've got your dragonfly with the key as its body. You've got a fabulous shaped card there. I used to love doing those, you know, you turn them over and the sand used to drop through. It used to fascinate me, that. Then you've also got the wings separately. You've got the bird with the wings in there. You've got that fabulous hat on there as well. Then we go further on. So you've got all your different florals in here. Love the bunny, the mechanical bunny. That's a great one for our Sam. You've got this one, which could be a header. So top and bottom with detail in the middle of it. But don't forget, you take these into Canvas Workspace, and because of the way we save our files, we can manipulate these to within an inch of the lives, literally. We really can do that. And if you are in the market for a ScanNCut, just seriously think about it today, because you're getting so much installed into the machine's memory before you even start buying SVG files. So seriously, if you're thinking, should I, shouldn't I? When we've got a deal on an SDX, absolutely go for it. You know, it's a perfect time to shop with us here at Highlight Crafts. Right, we've got this one now. This is your Spectacular Stencils Volume 2. So again, you know what? You could make that quite easily on your ScanNCut. It'd take you a little while and you'd have to work it out, but you could do it. But that kind of design is incredibly difficult to do, because you'd have to go in with a tiny circle and take that bit out and take that bit out. So it's not as easy as it looks. This is why we want SVG files, because it makes it easy and quick. We want to do the crafting bit, don't we? We're not bothered about cutting all the stuff out. We just want to do the crafting bit. Well, the ScanNCut enables you to do that. So you've got all of these beautiful designs. I mean, look at this. Splitting that down would just be a joy. You could have the butterfly, you could split that down and have it facing sideways. You could just have that rose head as an all over background. So you're not just buying what you see in here, you're buying everything else that you can do with it, which is brilliant. And then the first one that we ever brought you, this is a stunner, this one. I love this. If you haven't got this one, definitely this is the one that you need to have in your stash. They're all £24.99. This one is Shop Stencil, but look at these beautiful patterns that you've got on here. They really are exquisitely beautiful, aren't they? You've got your dragonfly in there, your water lilies and your lily pads. You've got a crane in there. You've got your bumblebee and your butterflies, beautiful floral elements. And then we come to the all over background patterns. Now, if you've been watching me for any length of time or you've seen any of our YouTube tutorials, there's one called Switching Up Your Stencils, where I teach you how to take these patterns and do all sorts of different things with them. That's part of the free education that is on our website, not on our website, on our YouTube channel, highlightcrafts.com. So just go to YouTube, search that, and you'll find it, and all the education is there. We also have a club. Now, I've had a couple of people contact me in the last few days to say that the P in class 3 wouldn't allow you to create an offset. We've sorted it out. It's now on our website as a download for you, so you can sort that out. Good morning to Amanda, Lisa, morning crafters, and Mel, says Pam, Lynn, we've got morning all, Barbara, Mitch. I hope you're all having a lovely day, or you're going to have a lovely day. It's going to be a bit wet today, I think, isn't it? So you can stay in with us. That's the best thing to do, isn't it? Right, now then, if you do want to cut them out of stencil material, we searched high and low and found the perfect mylar for you. And it's quite funny, actually, because the lady who used to product source for us was going all over the world trying to find mylar that would cut on the ScanNCut and cut cleanly. And eventually it turned out there was a factory in Blackburn, which is where I live, like 25 minutes from my house, that does mylar. So that's where we get it from. So you're going to get 10 sheets of mylar. Okay, it's 12 by 12, it's 190 micron, and it's a brilliant way of cutting all your stencils, because if you think about it, you buy a stencil, that's what you've got, right? So one thing, one size. When you do it with the ScanNCut, you can resize them, take bits out, add bits in, do all those fabulous things. But you can also fit more on one sheet. And if you just want a one-off stencil, I would say just cut it out a card. But if you want to create some really beautiful backgrounds, then you need the mylar that we've got for you today. Shop mylar is going to get you 10 sheets of that for $14.99, which is cracking, isn't it? Right, now then, I want to talk to you about this brayer. I've taken it out of the box this time so you can actually see it. So it's Brother branded, and this I use for anything that is specialist coating on it. So probably vinyl, if it's got a fancy coating on it, your chroma card that we sold yesterday, mirror card, anything that's got a finish on it, you need to be using a brayer, because if you use the scraper, and the scraper's brilliant, but if you use that, it's going to scratch, and you don't want those scratches on there. So the brayer is brilliant, nice and ergonomic. You're going to put your product on the mat, and then you're going to burnish it down like this, and because it's a soft, smooth rubber, it's not going to damage that cardstock. So this one is Shop Brayer. Is that saying £19.40? £19.40 will get you that. Now then, scraper. If you haven't got one of these, please treat yourself. So you do get a little spatula that comes with the machine, and that's really good for getting fabric off your mat. We're going to cut fabric this morning. But I went to Brother and I went, what's that? You can imagine my face, can't you? Because even when I'm silent, the subtitles come on. I'm like, what's that? And they went, well, what do you want us to do? I went, something like this, please. So they did. And this is what you've got. Shop Scraper will get you that for $13.49. So it's good for burnishing down. It's also good for getting stuff off your mat as well, okay? Now then, if you're doing vinyl, or you want to get thinner fabrics, materials, paper, card, vellum off, you've got this metal spatula. This is really good. Okay, so this gets right underneath. It's thinner at the end. If you look at the end, it's super, super, super fine. See there? Super fine. So that's going to get underneath those little elements. Then we also have the hook. Now this is for weeding your vinyl. This is brilliant. It is pinpoint sharp. Okay, comes with a guard. Please don't lose the guard. And if you are putting it into a craft bag, put it in that way so that you don't catch yourself on it, because it is sharp. This is Shop Hook. £12.49 will get you both, which is great. Now then, we have a couple of these left, and I mean a couple. This is your 48 gel pen set. Now, if you're not familiar with the ScanNCut, you might not know that it doesn't just scan and cut, it draws. So I went to Brother. So when we first did it, I got message after message after message. I want a white pen, I want a gold pen, I want a silver pen, I want this, that and the other. And I went to Brother and they went, we don't do pens. And it's not a thing that we're going, it's not a route that we're going down. It's like, all right. I said, but could you make a pen holder where some pens will fit in it? And they went, oh, we could try. And that's what they did. So they came out with a universal pen holder, and you can fit any pen into it, or pencil, up to the width of an ultra fine Sharpie, not a regular Sharpie, an ultra fine one. Some of them you'll have to tape, which is fine. It shows you on the back of the packaging where to put the tape, but it means that you can then put things like your gel pens in. Now you're getting 48 in here. You've got some that are opaque, you've got metallics, you've got some neons, and you've got some glitters in here. You're getting 48 of them It's shop pens, $29.99 will get you that set, but we only have a couple left. So if you want it, pop it into your basket and check it out. Right, I'm going to skip the vellum for now because we'll come to that in a little bit later. And I'm going to talk to you about this because this is, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago now, I think. Gosh, that's gone quick. We launched the Tattered Lace digital subscription. So Tattered Lace did a magazine, and every month you would get the magazine through your door and you'd get a free gift on the front, and it would be all about information, inspiration and education. And there were thousands of you bought it. So one year when we sat discussing what we were going to do for the next one, I said to Stephanie, could we do a digital version? So she said, well, I need to know what that looks like in your head. So I said, right, so I want to have a magazine for ScanNCut users where no matter which page you turn to in the magazine, you can make that project. And she said, right, just for the ones at the beginning, like we do for the physical one. I was like, no, all of them. Thought she was going to fall off a chair. I said, because there isn't, as far as I know, and I might be wrong, I don't know of many magazines where you open it up and you can make any project. And that's what I wanted. But I wanted it from the card base, the mats and layers. So I wanted those as a printable file. I wanted all the charisma artwork that went with the SVG files. If there were any stencil designs, I wanted that putting in. If there were any sentiments, I wanted that putting in. There's envelopes within it as well. So we did it for 2 years. And it was a fabulous, fabulous product. So what we're doing is we're bringing it back separately from a machine. You can buy it with the machine, but if you want this separately, absolutely you can get this. Now, talking about education, our Amanda went into the studio every month and she filmed a video for each class. You also get all the backing papers that were in there as well, all the charisma files, and you'll see the same files a few times as I'm flicking through because they were 6 or 7 different designs with those files. But then we go on to all of the artwork for the rest of it, all of it, okay? So you're going to get all the cutting files, all the mats and layers, all the sentiments, card blanks, but something like this you can use again and again and again. Now this is one magazine printed out, okay? Just one. Now, if you decide, well, I like that idea, Mel, but I don't necessarily need it to print that off to cut it out. I can just cut it out of card. Absolutely. Of course you can. But you've also got all of these cutting files going forward. I don't know what that's doing in there. I think I picked that up randomly from somewhere, haven't I? So you're getting something similar to that 24 times. I know. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of files, and there's just short of 1,000 projects, which is amazing, isn't it? I love that. Best way to learn your ScanNCut, use it. Best way to use it, making a project. Absolutely. So if you want that by itself, it's $149.99. Then you'll get your club discount, then you'll get your points back, and you won't pay any postage because it's digital. So you could literally be downloading this today, which is super cool, isn't it? Right, I'm going to jump to this one over here because this was launched, I don't even know when, designer selection. Was that Saturday morning, Sam?
Yeah.
I think it was, wasn't it? So we brought you stencil designs, SVG cutting files. Of course, you can do all that other stuff with them. So you've got all 4 of these designs. And then we included Minecraft Studio for you as well. And the other SVG files, so the SVG files. We had dies, didn't we, as well, Sam, for this? Yeah, I don't know where my printout is for those. But anyway, we'll find that later on. So if you want, it's here. There we go. So you've got your 4 stencils there. Now again, you can break these down, you can enlarge them. I wouldn't go much smaller just because some of the areas here are tiny already, because the ScanNCut needs a 3mm turning point, okay? So we need to make sure that it can get in, rotate, meet itself and come out, okay? So that's your stencils. These are your SVG files. So when we bring you SVG files, we bring them to you in 3 different sizes just to get you started. So first of all, you get the original. Then you either get a smaller and a larger version or a larger and an extra large version. You'll also get all of the detailed designs, you get all the artwork, so you get all the reflections artwork, you get decoupage layers for that artwork, you get the reverse of that, so you can put them back to back, and it's a really great way of saving yourself money. And this is the thing with the ScanNCut, you know what, you invest at the beginning, and it is a hefty investment. Nobody's going to shy away from that. It's a considered purchase, but once you've got it, the money that it saves you long term is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Right, so you're then also going to get the Minecraft Studio with it as well. This is Shop Digital. It's $24.99. You've got a £10 saving, but you can also use your ScanNCut in conjunction with Minecraft Studio. And at some point when we do a ScanNCut show, I'm going to do a whole show showing you exactly how to do that, because it's a game changer for Minecraft Studio customers. Because I've sat there for years and years listening to Diane, watching her do the shows, and people are messaging and went, so how do I cut it out? Pair of scissors. Now you can do most of it with your ScanNCut, and you also get your DigiStamps as well in there. So if you want that one, that is Shop Digital, and it's $24.99. Right, shall we go and get stuck in? I'll take you with me. And while we're doing this, I'm going to talk to you about this machine. Okay, now we do also have, well, when you go on the machine, can you please show how to do an offset? Yeah, I'm going to work methodically through this. Okay, what does that say? I don't know. Right, if there's any questions I need to answer, Sam, will you start them for me, please? Right, so quick talk around this machine. Okay, this is the Tattered Lace version. It comes with 2 mats. It also comes with your stylus and a little spatula. Okay, so it's what we've done this time. So we've done 2 different things. We've done a naked deal, as we call it. So nothing included extra. What you get in the box is what you get in. Okay, so 2 mats, stylus, spatula. Then inside the machine's memory, you've got 682 different shapes, images, icons, phrases, all of that kind of thing that you can resize. So a minimum of 200 different sizes. So think about the 682 as a die, but a resizable version. Then you can flip them. Then you can weld them to make new shapes. So that's what we're talking about in here. You get 7 fonts, uppercase, lowercase, numbers and punctuation. I know, so buy those as dies. Good, isn't it? And then you're also going to get 100 quilt blocks in there. This is an SDX, guys. So an SDX means that it has that automatic blade. Now, there are other machines out there that claim they have an auto blade. When you actually get to it, it's a drop-down menu. Lightweight paper, lightweight card, medium weight paper. I don't know what that means. But this machine will go along, it will look at it, it will then decide what the pressure needs to be, what the blade depth needs to be, and it will cut it as many times as it needs to cut it cleanly for you. It's absolutely brilliant. You've got a lever at the side which enables you to lift the rollers so you can scan in thicker materials like foam, felt. Please don't think you're going to cut acrylic or MDF on this. I'm going to manage those expectations. But you can scan in like thicker felt or foam, thicker fabrics, because you can lift those back rollers. You can also use the piercing kit as well, because you can lift those rollers so it doesn't catch the scanner unit at the back. So why would you need a scanner in a cutting machine? Well, that's a very good question, and it's the question that I ask. Why do I need a scanner in a cutting machine? I wouldn't buy one now without it, to be honest, because it's a game changer. And at 12 o'clock, when we do that show, we're going to focus on the scanning element of it, because that's why I would buy one of these. I'd buy it because the cut is amazing. I'd also buy it because it has loads of content inside. Some machines you get 12 shapes with it, and then you have to buy their SVG files, which is, yeah, bothers me that. So, although it's got the smaller screen, we had a lovely lady last week message twice. I can't remember if it was Lorraine or Amanda. I think it was Lorraine. And she said that even though she was a little bit worried about the screen size, she can see it really clearly and her eyesight isn't good. Now, I have to say the small screens never bothered me. And if you're somebody that's going to work in Canvas Workspace, you're just using this as a vehicle for cutting and drawing, etc. But this is where you make your choice. So what we've done today, normally this is $3.99. Now over the weekend we had a very special event going on our other website, liveshopping.vip. So we dropped the price of this machine to $249. Now guys, that's before your club discount. I know. Then you're going to get your points back, which is just amazing. And there's no postage. And this could be winging its way to you today. So super, super, super easy. So we're going to do some cutting in a minute. But the first thing I want to show you, because I promised myself I'd go back to basics today, and because I'm sure there are lots of you out there that want a ScanNCut, but you just need some questions answered. If there are, please let us know. So many years ago now, because I've been doing this for 9.5 years with ScanNCut, the ScanNCut came out 9.5 years ago, and within a few times of me using my mat, it had lost its sticky. So I had a lot of people with the same problem. So I went to Christine at Pinflare first, and I said, do you do a glue that's kind of repositionable that I could use on the mat? She said, well, yeah, I think our stencil glue would do that. So tried it, worked, went to Brother and went, right, I need you to do something. And they were like, what now? Sure, they dread me going. I said, well, everyone's saying that the mats aren't lasting long enough. And to be fair to Brother, it's a really difficult thing to get right, because if you make your mat too sticky, you can't get it off. If you can't get the material off. If you don't make it sticky enough, people complain, including me. So I said, right, I found this product, and they went, oh yeah, but people won't buy mats then. I went, people aren't buying your machines and using them because the mats aren't good enough. And they were like, okay, fine. So they authorised it for us to use here, which is brilliant. So I wanted to show you, first of all, how to retack it properly. Now, the most important thing is that you stay within the constraints of this black square here. You do not want to be getting glue anywhere on that black. Okay, so you put a small, and you can see now this isn't particularly sticky. It'd be all right, but it's not great. And this means that I mean, look how many thousands of cuts this has had on. So a little bit of cut and use foam from Cadence. You can use whatever you prefer, but I like this one because I can wash it. And you're just going to put a small amount out on a piece of plastic, and you're going to pounce it so that the sponge picks it up. Now, this is why I love this foam. Look, it hasn't soaked in all of that. It's held it on the surface. So you're going to start, and you have to work methodically, because if you do this, you've no idea where you've been. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the top, and we're going to work methodically. And it's important that you get right to the top. Okay, but stay away from that black edge. That's important, because if this glue gets on your rollers, you don't want that to happen. That's not good. So we're going to very gently just swipe across, and then we're going to go in and we're going to add this glue onto here. Now, Brother would recommend, and I would recommend, that you cut the middle out of an old mat, but if you're brand new to ScanNCut, you're not going to have an old mat. So you could use a piece of copy paper just to hold against those black lines as you do this. But you can see I'm keeping going, and I'm pouncing this glue on, and even when I press this sponge down, there's still plenty of glue in there. So I'm going to just very gently then swipe it down, and then I'm going to pick up more of it, and we're going to do the bottom half. Now, it might be that the bottom half doesn't need doing. It might be that you just cut on the top half. Fine, just do the bit that you need. But we're now just going to drag that down there like that. Now, why is it so important that we put glue right up to that black line? Because when the ScanNCut goes along and that auto blade reads the depth, it looks at that edge. So if you've got a bubble somewhere in that edge where it's not stuck down properly and it reads it there, it will think it's thicker than it is, and it will keep trying to cut it till it gets through it. So that's the thing. Now, this glue is really clever. If I just take a little bit on my finger, and I'll regret this because it's super sticky, but I'll do it for you anyway. If I put a little bit of this on my finger like that, look, it's not sticky at all. As soon as it gets exposed to the air, it goes tacky. Isn't that clever? I love this product. I think Christine loves it too, because I've sold, I bet, thousands and thousands and thousands of bottles. Karen Henley says, yippee for birthdays. My son has just paid for Series 2 of the ScanNCut Club. How fabulous is that? Well done. Yes, happy birthday. Is it your birthday today? Oh, let us know if it's your birthday today. We've got lots of people joining us, which is Right, Karen says, I've made my mind up. Definitely getting a ScanNCut. Has been watching all the tutorials. I can research on different models. The devil and the angel on my shoulder have stopped fighting, and even the angel has now decided that it needs it. That's brilliant, Karen. Well, treat yourself. So, offer is $249 naked deal, or you can get the same machine for $299 with the Tattered Lace subscription, worth $149.99. Well, it's actually worth over £700 if we were doing it at full price, but we've dropped the price, so that's the price that I'm working with. So you have a choice. We also have the SDX 1200 on, which has the larger screen. It has 1,303 images, icons, shapes and words in its memory, 17 fonts, 100 quilt blocks, and it also comes with the fabric auto blade and also with the pens and the pen holder, but it's $499. So you make your choice depending on your budget. That's all I can say to you. I can't tell you which one to buy. That has to be your choice. Sorry, I need a drink. Right, so we're going to pop that to one side. I'll come back to that after. So first of all, I thought we'd start with something that we don't usually do very often, and that is fabric. So I've got my mat. Now, controversially, Brother do a fabric mat. Okay, so if you want to cut fabric without stabilizing it, they do what they call a high contact adhesive sheet, and it's a piece of like, it looks like a roll of plastic. It's like double-sided. Well, it's not a single-sided adhesive. Double-sided adhesive in a big sheet, and they recommend that you put that onto a low tack mat, and that holds non-stabilized fabric onto your mat. Okay, now I'm going to be really honest with you because it's the only way I can be. So if you do that, it will cut into that high contact adhesive sheet, and eventually you'll have to take it off and replace it. So what I tried is just making my mat really sticky with the stencil glue, allocating this one for fabric, just like I have one allocated for grey board, and then we're going to see if it will cut this without it being stabilised, without using the high contact adhesive sheet. Because if we can, brilliant. They also do a mat that's a fabric mat, which already has that on it. So if you would prefer to do that, absolutely go ahead and do that. But I'm going to show you how well this cuts fabric. So remember, this is unstabilised. And I'm going to ask it to do a snowflake. And I'm going to ask it to do a snowflake because it's quite intricate. So it has to come out like that, go back on itself. So that's why I'm doing this shape, just in case you're wondering. So I've got my cotton poplin on here. I'm going to go into patterns because this is where I want to go. I'm going to go into my images and icons, and I'm going to select a snowflake. So let's make it really tricky and do that one. Ooh. And you might sit there and go, out of unstabilised fabric. I know, I'm proper risking it today, aren't I? Risking it for a biscuit. Now then, you can scan this in. Okay, so we're going to load the mat. We're going to scan this in, and we're going to see what it looks like on fabric. Now, if you're buying the Tattered Lace one, you can also purchase the fabric, blade housing and blade. The housing will be a one-off purchase. The blade you will renew, and it's a completely different blade to your regular one. Gosh, it needs clean. That needs cleaning, Melanie Heaton. That's bad. There we go. Give that a clean. It's super, super, super fine. So look at that blade. Completely different to the one that you're going to use for cutting card. Completely different. Look at this. Look, completely different blades. So do you need the correct blade for fabric? Absolutely. Okay, absolutely, because it just makes that difference. Right tool for the right job, right? Right, now then, I can scan my fabric in. Now, normally I wouldn't do this if I'm just doing something like this, but I want to show you one of the reasons why you need a scanner in a cutting machine, especially if you're doing things like applique for your fabrics, because you can scan your fabric in. It will then draw it. So if you've got an erasable pen that will fit in the universal pen holder, it will draw it onto your fabric, and then in the settings of the machine, you can set a seam allowance. So you set your seam allowance to 1/4 of an inch, and then it will cut it out for you. It's brilliant. Right, so I can see now that I can see your picture inside there, but I can also make that background lighter so you can see it clearer. There it is, look. There you go. So let's just press start and see what we get. Please select, cut and start. Now I've gone for a properly detailed snowflake with those little pieces inside because I want you to see how good this machine is. It's absolutely brilliant. And for something to hold my attention for 9.5 years is a miracle, quite frankly, because I'm like, right, done that, in, out, job done, done it. What's next, please? Next. I want to know what I can do next. Honestly, it's a fabulous machine, and I'm still finding new things to do with it. And that's really exciting, really exciting. I don't know any other piece of, or any other tool or machine that A, has held my attention for that long, but B, nearly 9.5 years on, you're still finding new things. Now, this is always the fun bit, because if you come in here, can you see where that's cut, Ethan? No, I know. This is when everyone panics. Don't panic, because it has cut it. It's just cut it so beautifully cleanly that you actually can't see the edge. So I'm going to get my little pokey tool underneath and I'm just going to loosen this. Now you will get a slight amount of fraying because this fabric isn't stabilized, okay? But look how beautifully clean it has cut this snowflake. So get right underneath those little fronds. Do the bottom ones first of all and the side ones here. Get underneath there. Your little metal spatula will be good for this. Go underneath there, because I'm proper poking at this now, but look at this. Now, this is phenomenal on fabric. So if you're a fabric crafter, you need this in your life. Oh, let's just get that little one out of there. There we go. Look. Perfect, right? Now, if you want this as a plique, you can do that. So you can use something like heat and bond on the back and do that. I've got some questions. Question like this. Right, questions. Can you use tape on the mat as long as not near the black lines? Right, okay, so if you use tape on a mat to hold a piece of card down, it's like, and the mat isn't sticky enough to hold that piece of card, you're putting tape around a shape and then asking it not to be stuck to the mat. So then it's like trying to chop a carrot in midair. It can't, that card isn't flush on there. So listen, it's up to you, but you have to make sure that you don't get that round here. If we were a brother and I was with the guy who repairs all the machines and you said to him, can I put tape around the edges? He'd be like, no, because masking tape can leave a residue. And the tolerance between this roller and the roller underneath it is just enough for the mat to get in. If you've got any glue there, it's going to stop those rollers moving. So I never use tape on mine, but it's entirely up to you. Hi Mel, I cut fabric all my fabric with the high tack sheet, but use a standard mat. This is sticky enough. Absolutely, right? Exactly that. I love my ScanNCut CM900. I have my original mat and I've retacked it so many times. Works so well. Thank you, Mel. You're very welcome. Right. Sheila says, hi, Mel and team. I'm an original Tattered Lace magazine subscriber. Okay, can you message help at Highlight Crafts for that, please? And then we can sort that out for you off air. I think that's probably the best thing to do, so we can make that work for you. So fabric, first of all. So I'm going to take the blade out. I'm going to put the regular blade in. So the next thing that we will do is we'll cut that same snowflake, but we'll go to something like, let's do grey board. Okay, now then, this is 1mm grey board. We are bringing you some grey board tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. It's not 12 by 12, but tune in because it's, yeah, we've managed to find some grey board for you. So we're going to open this up. I'm going to load this in, and this time it's going to come across and have a look. All right, so it's going to come across and have a look. It might prompt me to lift that lever on the side of the machine. So let's do the same snowflake. Please select and cut. And then we're going to press start, and now you'll see what it does. So it's telling me 1 minute. Once it's looked at this material and it's come onto here, it will then, that will probably increase, because it's not going to try and cut 1mm grey board in one go. It's going to adjust itself. So 4 minutes. So that tells me it's going to cut it 3 or 4 times. I'm not bothered about that because it's going to cut it cleanly, and that's what you want. You want that clean cut. To get an automatic, so an SDX ScanNCut, for the price that we're bringing it to you today, $249, as a naked deal, no added extras, just as it is, is absolutely phenomenal. Our Pro Coat at full price is £169.99. So for an extra £80, you could get yourself an SDX. Now we have split pays, so you can do Klarna, ClearPay or PayPal. So you can split the cost. But imagine if I bought you the Pro Coat with 682 different die sets, and each one of those die sets had that shape in hundreds of different sizes. You would be snapping my hand off. This is no different, but it's digital. So while it's cutting like this, you can be crafting. I know, it's brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. So maybe you want to do a whole sheet of snowflakes for Christmas, so they're all hanging in your window, cover them with Cadence product. Absolutely, well, you just leave it to run. But now you're crafting, and that's the joy. And then it's got a scanner built in. We're going to talk about the scanner at 12 o'clock today, but please, please, please don't miss out on this deal, because to get that, I mean, I thought £299 was a good price. £249, brilliant. Right? Absolutely brilliant. You are literally, with the content, looking at less than you would pay for a die cutting machine. It's absolutely superb. I don't know what else to say to you, because I've been doing this for 9.5 years. It's never let me down. There's very few times someone's come and said, can it do this? And I'm like, no. It's usually a material that's too thick. But what you can see it doing now is it's going down. So it's read the depth of that 1mm grey board. It's then gone, right, I need to do a gentler cut. So it's set automatically its pressure and its blade depth. It's then gone along and looked at it. It's gone onto the material and looked at it, and it's worked it out for you. That was the thing that stopped people getting the CM machines out of the box, because it was a fear of cutting through the mat, because you had to learn what pressures and blade depths you needed to cut different materials. With an SDX, you don't need to do that. It does it for you. Then you've also got Canvas Workspace. Now, there's two different versions, one that you download, one that you use in the cloud. Either of them are brilliant, and it's free. Brother are brilliant at technology, but they're even better at making that technology easy for you. And that's what we want, isn't it? When we go into a craft room, we want to get this to do all the boring bit so that you can do all the fun bit. And honestly, if I ever won millions and millions, like 200 million on the Euro Millions, which will be very interesting because I never do it, I would buy everybody I know a ScanNCut, because it's absolutely phenomenal. But this deal for an SDX, if we were bringing you the CM300, so one of the original ones, or the CM600 at this price, I'd be like, brilliant. But we're not. We're bringing you an SDX. Now it's still going back, it still needs to cut some more. Now it will keep going until, but you can stop it. So I know now that more often than not, listen, you can hear it. I think that's cut through cleanly now, but we'll let it do its thing. Just trust, it's like sat-nav. You know when you first get sat-nav and it takes you in a different route and you're like, oh, I'm not sure about that. You've got to trust the sat-nav. Although I did it once and ended up in the middle of the field. It kept turning me in these wrong directions, and then it went down this little path. This little path just went into this field. I was like, brilliant, what am I going to do now? I know, sat-nav's technology is a wonderful thing when it works. Right, I'm going to pause it now and quit cutting because I think it's done that. So let's have a look. There we go, look at that, perfect. Now you will get a little bit of it pulling up at the sides with grey board because you're asking a board to go through, and it's a fibrous, it's a very open fibrous grey board. But look at the other side. So this is the side that you use because it's absolutely bang on perfect. Isn't that fantastic? And all with the same blade. So let's go from that to a regular cardstock. Okay, so we'll do that now. So we're going from here to regular card. Now what I'm not going to do is change my blade because I can use the same blade, and I'm not going to adjust any settings because I don't need to. I don't need to adjust those settings at all. I can literally just ask it to cut the same shape and it'll do it for me. Could be denim, leather, oilcloth, mylar, grey board, regular paper, regular card, vinyl with the vinyl blade. It could be parchment, vellum, rice paper, all of those different things that we use as crafters. It's fabulous. So if I just load this in now, we'll get it to cut this snowflake out of here, and no adjustment. And I think that's what scared people about the ScanNCut. I think it's not learning it. It's not learning what the icons mean, because there's 13 hours worth of free education on our YouTube channel. But there are millions of videos out there now of people who are using the ScanNCut on a regular basis and who are teaching you. So I'm just going to make sure that there's no grey board residue left on my blade or within the actual cap itself, because I want to make sure that we're getting the cleanest cut that we can. We're going to press cut, and we're going to press start. Now, this afternoon at 12 o'clock, we're going to do scanning, because if you're sitting there going, well, you know what, why do I need a scanner? I don't know why I need it. I'm going to show you all the different things that you can do with using that scanner, because it's brilliant. And I was you. I literally sat there one Saturday afternoon and I was making a card. I can remember it clear as day. It was Stamp-A-Vie stamps. And I got all my flowers and my foliage and my lovely little girl coloured in, and I wanted a flourish. I just wanted a simple flourish. So I went through all my Cricut cartridges, went through all my dies, went through all my punches, couldn't find what I wanted. And I thought, oh, what if I just draw one? And I can't draw, but I just literally did that, and it found it, and it cut it out. And I was like, okay, get it now. Absolutely get it now. That's why you need a scanner in a cutting machine, but also for things like your reflections artwork, your decoupage. Now, if you're doing decoupage, any scanner, whether it's built into a machine like this or external, just a standalone scanner, needs contrast. But we have ways we're working around that. So if you've got a white lily on a white background, and it's a very pale grey that they've used, or a pale blue for the definition between the two, there isn't a big enough contrast. But you can go around it with a pencil, and then it will find it. Anything that comes out of Highlight Crafts, die-wise, you can scan the die cut in. Or more often than not now, in fact all the time now, we bring them to you as SVG files. But we don't just go, right, there's your machine, off you go. We give you all that education to back it up, which is brilliant. Right, so, perfect. Look at that. Every time. Never doubt your ScanNCut. More often than not, it'll be user error if it's doing something. If it's not, messages, and we can put you in touch with Brother customer service. And I have to say, you've got a 2-year warranty on this machine, and Brother's customer service is phenomenal, second to none. They're just brilliant at what they do. Right, so we can go from that to, let's have a look at something else. What else did I bring in? Stabilised fabric, vinyl. Okay, let's have a look at vinyl. Now, when you're cutting vinyl small pieces, you would need the vinyl blade, because again, it's different. Now, I'm just going to go and grab that roller, because I'm not going to scratch this mirror vinyl for the sake of a few steps. So this is where this comes in, because you can burnish this down now, and you put enough pressure on, because you put your fingers on the top like that, put enough pressure on like so, and burnish that down, okay, because I don't want scratches on it. So the vinyl blade, again, different. So I'm going to take, let's do that snowflake, and we'll do it at centimetre. Let's see how it copes with that. So I'm going to go back, because I want to resize it. I'm editing it, because I'm changing it. I'm editing the object, and then this is resize, and I'm going to take that down. Let's just switch from inches to millimeters, and we'll take that down. I'm going to do it, actually, I'm going to do it at 15 mil. Now let's try 10, see what we get, right? Because if we don't try, we won't know, will we? Look how tiny that is. Go on, down to there. Wow. Now then, I want to move that, and there's no way I'm grabbing hold of that. So use your directional arrow buttons. Move it up like that, move it across. And then we're going to put a little weeding box around it. Now, the vinyl blade is something that you can buy later on, if that's what you want to do. Just check out the Brother brand shop on our website. You can see cut pressure, auto, cut amount, auto. Come down to here, I'm going to put half cut on, and I'm also going to put the weeding box on, and you'll see why when it's cut this. So that is now going to go ahead and cut that snowflake. So we've gone from fabric, unstabilised fabric, grey board, regular cardstock, mylar, vinyl, all those different things. I'll show you mylar later on as well, but we're just going to press start. Go on, off you go. It's saying use your stylus, Melanie. That's what it's saying. Stop it, being naughty, use your stylus. Now, this might be too small because it's got those little landlocked areas in. But we'll never know, will we, unless we try. We've got 45 seconds left. Come on, machine. I know. I'm just like, come on, come on, come on, let me show you. If not, we'll show you at the beginning of the 12 o'clock hour. Remember, 12 o'clock scanning, and we're going to get pattern papers involved as well, because there's a little trick that we did way, way, way back when, which you probably haven't seen for years. So it'll be good. And we get new customers all the time, so we need to share all those amazing things that we can do. Right, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's see. Quick, 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 quick. There we are. Right, let's have a look. We've got 15 seconds. Let's have a look, see what we've got. See if I can get that snowflake out of there in 15 seconds. Right, oh my goodness me. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. How amazing is that, guys? Right, I'm leaving you. Stephanie's up next. Brand new templates. See you at 12. Bye.